Hello, my lovely students. Last time we had discussed about the introduction and the summary of the chapter, and I hope that's clear to everyone. So let us proceed with the thorough explanation of the chapter. A Letter to God by Joel Fuentes. Since the chapter is too long, so to break the monotony, it has been divided into two parts. And the link of the second video has been mentioned in the description box. Now, this is a story about an innocent man who was a farmer. He had unshakable faith in the generosity of God. He had so much of trust in God that when he was in problem, he decided to write a letter to God. And this faith gave rise to an amusing situation where the persons who tried to save this man's faith in God, they were accused by him and they were called a bunch of crooks. Bunch of crooks means bad people, a group of bad people. So let us proceed. The title of the story is A Letter to God, and it is purely justified. I don't think that any other title would have been better. Why? Because this letter that was written to God, it was written by the farmer when he was in need, when he was in problem. Now this gives the reader a clue that of the farmer had blind faith in God. All of us know that if we write a letter to God, that won't reach to him because we know that there is no address of God. There is no particular address. But this farmer had blind faith. Another thing was there are two characters, main characters in the story. First is the post office employee, and second character is the farmer. Both of them are connected through this letter only. There was another letter written, the second letter, but it is not that important as the first letter. Alright, now let us proceed to the now characters of the story. There are two characters in the story. These are the main characters. First is a farmer. His name is Lencho. Not Lenko, it's Lencho. Second character is postmaster. His name is not mentioned, but he was a kind-hearted man who decided to help Lencho anonymously. Anonymously means he does not want his name to be revealed. Coming to the explanation part, first of all, I will read this paragraph and then I'll explain it. Explanation part 1. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now, the main character of the story is Lencho, who was a farmer, and he had a field of ripe corn. And he basically wanted a good shower. That means he was waiting for rain to come so that he would have a good harvest this year. And he was expecting it. Because he was expecting it, he was looking towards the sky in the northeast direction. Because from that side, he could see some dark clouds coming. Whenever it rains, we always see the sky and predict that it is going to rain after seeing the clouds. Because the clouds that will bring us rain are dark in color. So similarly, Lencho was looking towards the sky and has predicted that it is going to rain. Explanation part 2. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, Yes, God willing. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all, Come for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are fives." Now, the farmer, Lencho, he told his wife that soon it is going to rain and we'll have a good harvest. And even the woman was happy. She was very happy and she said, yes, the God wants that to happen. And the older boys of like the older sons of that farmer and the lady, they were working in the field, and while the smaller ones were playing, and the woman called them all for dinner. And now it started raining, and when it started raining, Lencho went outside and he was very happy. He came back and he said that this year we're going to earn a lot of money. These are not just raindrops. He metaphorically compared raindrops with money, because good rain means good amount of money that the farmer will earn that year. And he compared big drops with 10-cent pieces and the little ones with 5-cent pieces. I hope this part is clear. So let us proceed. Explanation Part 3. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Now, what happened? Initially, the farmer was very happy because it was raining. But eventually, that rain turned into hailstones. Now, all of you have seen hailstones. Those are those frozen eyeballs that fall from the sky. And generally, when hailstones fall, what do? We go out of our houses and collect them because we actually like them. They're very beautiful, and they literally resembled silver coins. They were looking like silver coins only. And the boys generally, what young boys do, those boys exposed themselves to the rain and ran out to collect those hailstones. Explanation Part 4. "It is really getting bad now," exclaimed the man. "I hope it passes quickly." It did not pass quickly. For an hour the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. And the farmer prayed that it's really getting bad now. It should not happen. And I really hope that this finishes off quickly. He doesn't want rain now. He just wants that hailstone should stop falling. But it did not stop. It kept on falling and falling and falling. And after an hour, it felt like the whole field, the whole place is covered with white salt, because those hailstones are white in color. So it looked like it is covered with salt. The whole place is covered with salt. Why was the farmer praying for the hailstones to pass quickly? Because it can damage his crops, and it did. It did damage his crops. Explanation Part 5. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We'll all go hungry this year. Now, as I told you, that hailstones could have damaged his crops, and it did. It did damage his crops. Not a single leaf remained on the trees. Now, imagine you have put a lot of you've put a lot of hard work on your field throughout the year, and just for 1 hour it rains. The rain turns into hailstones, hailstorm in fact, and your all hard work is in vain. Just imagine, how does it feel? Same thing was happening with our main character Lencho. He was completely hopeless. He had young sons and a wife to feed, and he had no other help. He had put a lot of effort in his own field. And he said a plague of locusts would have left more than this. Now, what is locust? Locust is an insect. It looks like this. And plague of locusts means when like many locusts attack on the field like this. It's a plague of locusts. And he said that if locusts would attack on the field, still we would have something. But because of the hailstorm, we have nothing left now. Nothing. We don't have anything. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. And he was totally helpless that night. He was not able to sleep even. We'll all go hungry this year. And he said that this year we're going to get hungry. We won't have food this year. So that's it. Part 1 ends here. And let us meet in the other video. Link has been mentioned in the description box. Thank you.